You rolling?
What are we doing? Yeah.
We're gonna go get high. Brian, you've never been over 4,000 feet in a plane, from what I hear,
Yeah,
even commercial.
that.
And so you're gonna get this.
Okay.
It's nice and sanitized. It is a face mask because you cannot use a cannula if you're a pilot over 18,000 feet. We have filed to go to flight level 210.
Because we're showing something like a 70 knot tailwind. So if that's the case, we're going to be going how fast over the ground?
Faster than you're grumming.
Well, right.
I can walk faster than the Grumman.
So we will be doing an IFR flight today, which I am current, but I am not proficient, and it's important to be able to distinguish between those two things. So Dan is a CF double I now.
I have so many approaches because of my check ride a week ago.
You're very proficient.
I'm very proficient.
So if I do something wrong, I'm in good hands. All right, we're going to load up and go. We departed Hicks Airport in Fort Worth, Texas, and filed for Foxtrot 95, Calhoun County in the Florida Panhandle. A few minutes after launching, we were in IMC, which I'm becoming more comfortable with lately. The first few times, it was horrific. This is the best brand of IMC. This is the one where you're in it, you're out of it, and sometimes when you're in it, it starts raining. And there were about 4 different layers of IMC on our way up to 21,000 feet. This particular flight was cool. I had a couple of firsts. This was my first time on oxygen. My first time setting the altimeter to 29902, which is required above 18,000 feet. But a couple things I hadn't considered. One, cockpit silence. With the masks on, we couldn't really communicate with one another. It was kind of a pain, so it was very quiet. Number 2, radio silence. High-level IFR, there's not a lot of traffic, so there's less radio chatter, so that was new. And number 3, snow inside the airplane. Wait, what? That's right, at this altitude, it was minus 20 degrees Celsius, and we were in IMC. These little planes do have heaters, but they're not super efficient, and so we were very cold. The result of being in IMC at this temperature meant droplets of water were getting inside the plane, and what you're seeing there is actually snow falling inside the plane. For about an hour, we were getting snowed on. I've never experienced this before. I don't know if it's typical, but it was definitely a first. There wasn't a whole lot to do. The flight was uneventful. It was about 3.5, maybe 4 hours. We kept ourselves entertained by having snacks and experimenting with these overinflated peanut bags and just enjoying the views outside. This is my first time flying a Cessna 210. It's a larger general aviation aircraft. By most standards, it's a 6-seater. It's very stable, and I found it to be very comfortable. I'm not the only one who found it to be very comfortable. It seems like everyone was comfortable. All right, guys, time to sit back and watch the smoothest landing I've ever made in my life and watch Dan expand my head even bigger than it already was.
All right, your descent rate's good. I think you can pull power out a little bit. Yeah. All right, and you're left of the runway. There you go. Okay, you've made the runway. You can power all the way out, but keep it ready. Oh, don't flare early. Follow it all the way down, that. Now start there. Oh, oh my gosh, that was like the best landing ever. Oh, and your camera quit.
No, my camera's going, dude.
That was butter smooth. I don't think Lola's had a first landing from somebody that good.
Wow.
I have to give it to you. I have to give it to you. You didn't even know when you hit the
ground. You couldn't even feel those wheels touch, man.
No. Now, we do get the Cessna shimmy. Yeah, keep that back. Very impressive.
Oh, man, I'm glad, because the next one is going to suck.
That was so smooth. All right.
I think you got to fly the next leg, man. That's a walk away out on top.
Bike drop.
Yeah.
The leg to Sun and Fun takes us from F95 to Plant City. We want to clean this up a little bit because we never want to be further than gliding distance from shore. I decided I would go ahead and let Dan take this leg because I just finished being perfect and I didn't want to have to try and top it. Just got a good takeoff roll here as we're departing Foxtrot 95. And Dan's going to fly us a little bit over the ocean so we could have a pretty view, but not so far over it that it was too scary. I will say that flying over the water, even though we're gliding distance to land. These are shark-infested waters. They're filled with piranha and all sorts of creatures that would like to see us dead. So just looking out my side of the window and looking straight down and seeing the ocean was a little bit off-putting. And of course you could see over on Dan's side, we really were not too far from land, so we could glide to land at any point in time. So now it's time to land at Plant City and head to Sun and Fun. When you get to Sun and Fun, you'll see a lot of static displays and other things that you find at the major air shows. Just like all the major aviation events, Sun and Fun 2 was started by a grassroots campaign to sell anodized aluminum cookware and evolved naturally into the aviation expo that it is today.
I had no clue. Now, why is the aluminum the problem? Does anybody know?
Nobody knows. Now don't get me wrong, Sun and Fun's not just a cooking show. If you walk around on the grounds, you'll see a lot of interesting things. For example, here's a Martin Polly explaining why being in the shade is better than being in the sun. And right behind him, there's a Dirtbag Pilot. If we walk around outside, we can see a robotic dog jumping up and down. And here is a wild Ludix in its natural environment. But that's not what we came here for. Let's watch some jets. After the air show was over, we hopped on the little train and said, take us to where the party's at. They drove us out to the other side of the airport where we met this crazy group of people. There's that Dirtbag Pilot again. Seems like he's always there, just off in the distance. After sunset, they had a little nighttime air show, which was pretty cool, but right in the middle of it, someone started setting off fireworks. And these people didn't spare any expense. They got the deluxe family pack of fireworks. Check this out. So that pretty much covers our one-day trip to Sun and Fun. I was going to include the flight home, but it was extremely dicey, so that's going to be its own video. If you get a chance to go to Sun and Fun, check it out. It's pretty cool. Make sure you get some souvenirs while you're there. Like this Sun and Fun hat, or this Sun and Fun hat, or this Sun and Fun hat, or this... Wait, what? What?
You don't belong here. Get out.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Sun and Fun was definitely interesting. It's very hard in my mind not to compare it to Oshkosh because I've gone there so many times. If you've never been, Sun and Fun is really amazing. If you're like me, where you've always gone to Oshkosh, there's pros and cons. It feels a little more like an aviation-themed state fair, but it does have the big air show, the big fireworks show, all the amazing things that you would see at Oshkosh, and probably about 1/10 of the steps. There's a whole lot less walking. But anyway, I enjoyed it. I probably won't go back every year like I do Oshkosh, but I'll definitely go back in the future. It was a lot of fun. It was great to meet people. I joke about Dirtbag Pilot. You should check him out on TikTok and Instagram, the Dirtbag Pilot. He's a really funny guy. I like his stuff. Also, for those that were there, we did a live stream on Friday night, which is cool. We partnered up with Rugged Radio, to give away some headsets. And a lot of you were quick to point out that my wife and I, the Matrix glitched, and apparently we drink in coordination. So that was kind of interesting. Yeah, that was odd. So next video is the flight back. The flight back is going to be its own thing because there was a lot of issues that came up and very smart piloting choices that me and Dan made. But it made for a very, very interesting and scary trip home. So stick around. Next Sunday, I think that video will be out. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Gold Seal, for sponsoring the channel. Thanks to all the Patreons, all the people who share and support the channel. I really, really appreciate it. You guys fly smart, and we'll catch you in the next one.